Well, it's that time of year. You love it, hate it, you can't avoid it. Pumpkin spice everything. Kevin Mullan is here from Thread Marketing with why we just can't get enough of the PSL. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning,
and bring me a
Amanda.
little pick-me-up this morning, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. So this is, everybody's like, it's already out. They've already started with the whole pumpkin spice
Yeah,
thing.
we're trying to hang on to like the last little grasps, the last little threads of summer.
And here we
meanwhile,
go.
Starbucks has to spoil it by releasing at the earliest date they have ever. Their pumpkin spice latte.
Okay, so take me back to the history of this thing. When this was first released back in what, the early 2000s?
It's hard to believe, early 2000s, and it's really, this is like a incredible case study in consumer behavior. And so I give Starbucks a lot of credit that back in the early 2000s, they released 10 different sort of test flavors. In a couple cities across the country, and then came back and got the results from those and found that, believe it or not, where do you think out of 10, where do you think pumpkin spice latte finished?
You would think it would be high on the list,
It
right?
was right in the middle of the pack.
In the middle.
And so what the sort of marketing strategy experts sort of consulted with Starbucks on was saying, well, while it finished middle of the pack, it means people didn't hate it.
Okay.
And there's no competition in the lane. So at the time they figured out there's really nothing else on the market quite like this.
They are smart.
So let's put it out.
Okay.
And so they released this across the country. And you know, fast forward, here we are however many years later, and it's now everywhere.
It's everywhere. And
Yeah.
you brought some examples too. It's not just, you know, pumpkin spice latte, the coffee. I mean, we've really covered everything here.
Yeah, so I made a quick stop by Kroger this morning to say, let me see how many pumpkin spice or pumpkin flavored things we can find. And so Little Debbie's in on it. Even some brewers are in on it. New Belgium's got a spicy pumpkin beer.
Wow.
And there's breads and there's candies, there's cereals.
These are pumpkin pie Kit Kats. These look delicious too. Right.
So what the folks at
all.
Kroger said, it's still a little early to get like pumpkin everything yet, because conventional wisdom says it's not quite fall yet, so let's kind of hang tight. But in the next couple of weeks, you'll see shelves popping up with cereals and Pop-Tarts and you name it. These are all ridiculous things that I don't think you should ever consume. But
you don't like it.
No.
You're not
So
a fan.
I mean, I'm not a coffee drinker to begin with,
Okay.
and I'm not a big pumpkin person. But I think the amazing thing to me is people don't realize that the pumpkin spice latte.
Doesn't have pumpkin in it?
Well, it does now.
It does now.
But for the first 12 years, it was just the spices from a pumpkin pie. And so we're talking about, you know, cinnamon and nutmeg and clove. And then it wasn't until 2015 that Starbucks finally started putting pumpkin puree into the recipe. So if you love
We are
this,
so smart, aren't we? We fall for everything.
it's just a gimmick. And so they call it pumpkin spice for a reason.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
the spice.
and the sales have been incredible. Last year alone, Starbucks made $500 million on pumpkin spice lattes. They won't tell you exactly how much they've made in the history of this.
Keeping a little secret.
But it's estimated to be almost $1.5 billion just on this one crazy caffeinated beverage.
Man. Wow. So they're really happy that they made these decisions, right? And this is really going to keep happening, I would imagine, for the foreseeable future. I mean,
Well, and consumers are susceptible to this, because this is where sort of kind of marketers kind of play the science of this. And so really what it is it could be pumpkin spice, it could be White Claw, it could be, you name it.
White Claw. Oh, geez. That's
And there's
another one.
rumor of a pumpkin spice White Claw, but I think that's just a graphic designer having way too much fun with us. But it's literally what they do is they've identified a product that's in a category that doesn't have a ton of competition, and so it feels unique. They also take advantage of this seasonal feel. Let's be clear, there's
fall.
nothing that needs to be seasonal about the original pumpkin spice latte.
Right.
It was spices that are available year-round. So they actually artificially created a season for this, because we feel, you know, pumpkin relates to fall, so pumpkin pie feels fall. So they drop these spices in. Well, and then they start and end it like it's a, you know, a fruit or a vegetable that grows in a season. Nope, they just decided when to do that or not. And so it becomes this sort of perpetual going out of business sale, which we fall victim for all the time.
Yeah, I'm going to take another sip. Cheers to that. Good stuff. All right, thanks so much for breaking this down. It's all really interesting, and I'm sure everybody's just going to race out and get their PSL today, right?
Absolutely. If you don't like the coffee, maybe pick up a
maybe the beer. That sounds good to me,
It's a little
too.
early for that right now,
Right.
but
Yeah,
maybe later.
Maybe a little bit. All right. Well, thank you for making Toledo's only live local 9 a.m. show part of this Thursday morning. Coming up, it kept African-American travelers safe during an era of unrest. You've heard of the book, The Green Book, the movie, The Green Book. We're going to introduce you to those who